Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Ol'Ed Ed Fries, and I'm here for Solo Wrestledraft, but I got a good friend with me. Down here, we got Carl Carafel, not Chris Parrish, joining me this week as Parrish is still attending some things, but hopefully, sooner rather than later, Parrish will be back. Carl, thank you for joining me tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
No problem at all. Hand me a beer and I'll be Parrish.
That is how it would work. We got the voice Dr. Joseph popping in saying, "What's up, Ed?" We got Dr. Pepper. Hashtag Dr. Pepper sponsor Carl. And we've got the FTW YouTube Trivia Champion for Ring Respect Radio, Bobby Petito. Thank you for joining me as well. Yeah, he beat me last week on the YouTube side to become the Trivia Champion on the YouTube side. Not last week, the week before. Because last week, our good friend Joshua Joseph was on the show with Papa Smokes and Bobby Munson. So how's this Adam Copeland? I still have a hard time calling him Edge.
Right? I have a hard time with it too, to be honest.
I have it on
JJ, I'm doing good.
Edge looks angry. Jay looks like he's trying not to bust a gut. It's been a good day, Bobby. It's been a good day. Coming off a big NXT last night, and I heard Dynamite tried to do a couple things, but I'm not sure that they're going to be able to hang their hat on anything that they've got going on, but we can talk about that as the night goes on. Because they've got some, I don't want to sound like a hater, but they got some good stuff, but I thought they'd go a little bigger.
You would think so, considering everything that has happened, transpired, gone on. the announcements that came for next week, like,
yeah,
you'd figure they'd want to do something, but
and I mean,
apparently maybe it's
not
harder for them to rewrite.
Like, Swerve Scott versus Daniel Bryan is going to be a fantastic match. A plus 4.5 stars guaranteed. Those two are going to tear the house down.
Oh yeah.
Phoenix versus John Moxley, as long as nobody gets hurt, it's going to be fantastic. And
Which might be an inevitability, though.
Yeah, but I mean, at least hopefully this time he doesn't get dropped on his head again. At least if he doesn't get dropped on his head, we can at least deal with that.
Very true.
But I mean, Hikaru Shida versus Saraya for the AEW Women's Championship. That'll be a fun match.
Right? It's going to be a great match, that one.
Yeah. Throw the title on the line. I love it. I love the idea of a title Tuesday that they're doing. But it's just... It feels a little... It's missing something. Chris Jericho versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, okay, that's a cool Dynamite match. I get it. But
it's nothing to draw me in, though.
And for that, they're banking on that draw in being the in-ring debut in the action-wise of Adam Copeland taking on Luchasaurus. I think that's what they're banking on for that. They're going to draw
that would draw me 100%.
Yeah. But I just think it's going to be like, my thing is going to be, I can't wait for the chess plays that are going to go on between Shawn Michaels and TK, as they not so much put together the matches, but what match goes where.
Right. That's going to be the thing. Placement of these matches are going to be very crucial and critical when it comes to, a head-to-head with these two companies.
Yeah, because we were talking about, and Bobby says NXT was great last night. NXT was a really cool show last night, and I had a fun graphic made, and then all of a sudden they just kept dropping bomb after bomb after... So I literally changed the title of the show from New Champions Abound, and that was a title I had before Dominic Mysterio won the championship, and the thumbnail had Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov on it, to then having to change it to forget this week's show, look at next week.
I saw that.
Like, that was, it felt like exactly what NXT wanted us to do, was forget everything they did this week to look at what they're going to do in the week to come.
I don't think necessarily it was that they wanted you to forget about this week, but they wanted to make sure that you know that NXT is a powerhouse as well, and that, yes, they will deliver on top of the amazing that you already got this week.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to top that again, type of thing, right?
What do you think about the internet's take on WWE being petty for bringing main roster talent down and super loading an NXT show just because Dynamite got preempted to Tuesday?
My question to them is, how many of you have A, been inside of a ring, B, worked a match in your life, D, ever ran a company, or 5, worked with a professional wrestling company? If you say you haven't to any of that, then unfortunately your opinion on what is going on doesn't really mean a whole lot, because this is business.
Yeah.
From somebody who has ran a company, from somebody who has helped run a company, from somebody who has, hello Astrid, from somebody who has worked very closely with different companies and their, management teams, it's all business moves. Yeah. You see the same thing happen in fast food, right? McDonald's comes out with this new great burger. Let's just say it's the McRib. Everybody's all talking about the McRib. Oh, but then Burger King has to come out with something to counteract that. That's exactly what's happening here. And not that NXT doesn't have the star power, but AEW has star power throughout the entire show. So you have to bring some of those names to have a little bit more star power from your NXT stars, to including household name stars from Raw and SmackDown to help boost that rating. That's all it is. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Did anything interesting happen in the rest of the Edge versus Christian promo, or is it still going? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I don't have it on. Oh. I've got us on my big screen, and I've got a couple other us on other screens.
No, Dynamite seems to be over on my feed, so I'm going to close that feed down. Get Dar Amazing in the house, saying hello there. Hello, Dar Amazing. And Ashford is confirming that it is now over.
Okay.
I know Tony Khan had asked for an overrun, and I think he asked for an overrun and then didn't use it for what he wanted, because he had originally asked for an overrun because they had audio issues during the show, apparently. Oh. During an Adam Cole video package with like Adam Cole and the Kingdom and Roddy.
Okay.
So he went on Twitter and he was like, I'm very angry and I demand, I asked for an overrun. And then they get the overrun and I'm looking at like 10:07, 10:10, and Edge is still in the ring talking. And I'm like, overrun to make sure the fans definitely understood what happened during the Adam. Oh, they did play it. Okay.
Oh.
Must have been quick, but they used most of that overrun to go ahead and give Edge more than 7 minutes on the microphone.
Wow. Which, again, that's a power play move. I mean, 100%. Yeah. Like, that's fantastic for them to do. Adam is going to be that name. Adam should be that name that's replacing Phil.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're going to make it that, then you definitely need to make sure that you're giving him the time on the mic.
Agreed. I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Yeah. We do have Bobby Petito saying Lince Dorado is wrestling on Rampage this Friday in a fatal 4-way match. Yes, he is wrestling against... Who was it? I remembered some of these people, and now I can't remember any of them because I was taking notes on some of this and I didn't write it down. Oh, okay. Asher says they had audio issues. I meant the Kingdom Roddy and Adam part was replayed. Okay. So they did end up replaying it. But yeah, he's in a fatal 4-way match for a #1 contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And Eddie Kingston has apparently been made known from Stokely Hathaway, who's apparently part of the Ring of Honor Board of Directors. There we go. Thank you, Dar Amazing. Commander, Penta, and Johnny TV. So Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, are all going to be in that match with Lince Dorado to get the ROH title match, which will be fun. I think that'll be a fun little match.
I think so, too. I'm just reading it there. Penta, Johnny, Commander. I'm not very familiar with Commander. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one to kind of choose who's going to win that. I mean,
yeah,
Lince Dorado, I think, would be fantastic to win that. But then you've got that name of Johnny TV or Johnny whatever he goes by now.
Johnny, I do stuff.
Johnny, this company. Like,
yeah. Johnny, I do stuff and stuff happens.
Pretty much.
Just trying to sit here and book a show, but I'm running into some problems because everybody's hurting after the pay-per-view.
So I'm
trying to find some convenient ways to do stuff. Going to utilize my cheap promos to go ahead and get some fans with charity. Because my shakeup that I took last week before we ended the show was that I got 75% off all of my promos. So these charity promos that normally cost me $15,000 a pop are only going to cost me $3,750. So
that's a fantastic deal.
We've got Dar Amazing saying, can't wait for Johnny Ol'Ed. Yeah, that would be great if we could get Johnny Mundo in here. That would be fun. Ali Rose saying, you pushed them too hard. I may have pushed them a bit too hard. But, every now and then you got to push a little harder to make sure that people get what they want.
Right. Now, how did you fare last week? You said that it was a pay-per-view, right?
Yeah. So I played the first 10 weeks of the season last week. So we can see here, I've been basically winning the whole time. It's been close because in the beginning of these games, it's always pretty close.
Right.
Bischoff has had more money than me most of the time and still does to this moment. But we're hanging in there. We're ranked. We're at 17,000 or 1,697 and 911. So we're doing okay. I think we're behind slightly in fans, but we're on top because I have my Hall of Fame trophy. And for some reason, the game, if you have more Hall of Fame trophies, they give you a slight advantage, which I don't like. I wish they didn't do that because it'd be more beneficial if the fans were the ultimate thing. And then if you were tied, the Hall of Fame trophies mean something.
Right.
But it is what it is, and we'll get through it. Bobby Petito saying FTR versus Big Bill and Ricky Starks for the AEW Tag Team Championships on Collision. That might have been a good match to put on Tuesday night. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I think that they're going to announce throughout the week to go ahead and do that for the Tuesday night show? FTR versus the Young Bucks. Because the Young Bucks and Wrestle Dream won the opportunity for a future world title shot.
Yes, they did.
How much you want to bet that that's going to be a last-minute announced match by Tony and crew to throw on that show to get a bunch of star power?
I could see it.
Now,
as long as he doesn't wait too long.
Yeah. Oh, no. He'll announce it. It'll probably be announced on Collision, I would imagine. That way you get 2 or 3 days of publicity coming out of it. And the good thing about Collision, the one thing that I think that AEW does really well with that, having Collision on a Saturday gets that conversation going through the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You're the last thing that people talk about. So when Monday morning rolls around, we're not talking about SmackDown. We're talking about potentially Collision. So especially if you can do something big there to build into Tuesday. I think Tuesday night they also announced my least favorite match on the card, which is going to be Jay White versus Adam Page.
Okay. And you see, for me, that's a draw.
Well, Jay White's in it, so obviously I don't want to see
it. True.
Jay White's in the match. It's not a draw for me. Speaking of not a draw, Akira Tozawa and Bray Wyatt went out there and got 2 stars, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
All right, let's hope Io and Gigi don't do better than that, but I have a bad feeling about that. Oh, 2.5 stars. Yep, they ruined my curve, but it's okay. 4,000 fans for Big E cutting a charity promo. Big E's always good at those charity promos. He'll do fine. Thank you very much, Mike the Ref, for the raid. I was just in your show before I had to come on live. So thank you, Mike the Ref. If you don't already, please go follow Mike the Ref on his YouTube page at Backbreaker Wrestling, at Backbreaker Media, at Backbreaker Gaming. All kinds of fun stuff that Mike the Ref does. Make sure that you go ahead and check him out and watch him after you get done watching Carl Kellerfeld on Turnbuckle Talk on Tuesday. Switch over to Mike the Ref to go ahead and watch him on the second half of the AEW sidecast. And then he's said that he's going to graciously send people over to me and Astrid as we cover NXT. It is going to be a fantastic show. He's giving us the rundown: Shida versus Saraya, White versus Page, Mox versus Phoenix, Luchasaurus versus Copeland. It is definitely a crazy Tuesday. Mike, do you feel like AEW's holding a match or 2 back? We were just talking about this between Carl and I about that potential tag team title match with
FTR,
the FTR versus the Young Bucks
as
a potential match to add to that card on Tuesday night. What do you think? Bobby Petito says Jay Wright is going to wrestle for the World Championship at Full Gear. He will indeed. That is a match that's going to happen. Mike the Rest says they got 6 already. Yeah, but I mean, both of these shows are probably going commercial free. Both of these shows are probably going hard for fans. All right. FTR versus the Bucks will be at the Forum at Full Gear. That makes sense. I just wasn't sure if they were going to do something that would be a big shock match that you can announce late in the week to help. If you think you're losing in the publicity war, you pop that match and try to get a couple more people over. Speaking of championships, Kofi Kingston is the new Intercontinental Champion in a
Right?
4-star ladder and a 4-star Iron Man match.
That's
So what Eric
huge.
Bischoff got here going on. Riddick Moss versus Finn Balor on the other side for the WCW Championship. Carl, what do you think of that old school WCW Heavyweight Championship there on the screen?
Oh, I love it. I love it because it was, so we know that, you know, WCW did kind of bring in the big gold. They were using that for a little bit and stuff. But when WCW had that championship, it was something of their own. Right. So it made things a lot better for me. And I loved them having that because it showed legitimacy to the company. It wasn't just, we're rehashing this stuff. They're like, we got our own.
Yeah, it's WCW for all the crap that it got, and especially for the crap that it deserved in 2000. There was some really good stuff in 96.
Oh, yeah.
96, 97, 98, that NWO Monday Night Wars period. WCW did some really awful stuff, don't get me wrong, but so did WWE. Like, the Monday Night Wars are really unwatchable nowadays. Like, they're hard to watch shows. They're not great. Because both shows are look at this. Alcatraz versus Adrian Buck versus Bruno Sammartino.
And the Wish Taz wins the matchup?
No, that's the Wish.com nails.
Oh, God. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. He's one of the enhancement talents, or as we call them, our local enhancement talents.
The Traz threw me off because I'm thinking Taz.
And for the WCW Women's Tag Team Championships, the WCW Women's Champion Becky Lynch is teaming with Brie Bella to take on Tiffany Stratton and Valhalla.
Interesting.
Mike the Ref says, I mentioned it on a stream tonight, but Tuesday is a can't lose for AEW and a can't win for NXT. NXT wins, it's because of the special guests, which is true. It's wholeheartedly true. Mm-hmm. And if AEW loses, it's because of the day change. If NXT takes a dive, that could be a flag. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a red flag. Here's the thing. I don't think there's a lot of combined audience that watches between those two shows. I don't think the audience that's diehard NXT cares about AEW and vice versa.
Right.
So I don't think that a lot of these shows are going to lose fans. And remember, NXT has been averaging about 7,000 a week now, 700,000 a week now, which isn't bad.
No, not at all.
It's up from their 550 to 600,000 now that they've been bringing in main roster talent. So, you know, oh yeah, as Dara Amazing says, Tiffany Stratton is now injured for 3 weeks, as that bastard Eric Bischoff doesn't know what to do with her. And I think, if I remember correctly, I did an email last week where she's coming to my show. I think now she's coming over injured.
That sucks.
Mike the Ref jumping in and going, I agree with you, Ed. I think the wrong people are worried about this war. I agree. I remember the Monday Night Wars, and the Monday Night Wars were fun for the fans because you had to pick. You had to channel surf. So you had to make a choice. I'm either watching I'm watching WCW, I'm watching Raw, or I'm watching both. Nowadays, with the technology and the way things are going on in this, you don't necessarily have to choose. Like Astrid says, she's going to be watching both shows while taking notes for NXT next week to make sure that she can see both of them to get it going. And I think there's a lot of people that are going to do the same.
Right.
And Mike's right. There's no winning for NXT. There really isn't a win for NXT. Because even if you, like Mike says, get more fans, if you draw a bigger number, it's because you relied on Cody Rhodes, you relied on Asuka, you relied on Cena, you relied on Heyman. Right. That's what you did to get that bigger number. Whereas AEW's just doing a bigger Dynamite on a different night. And if they fail, they can just fall back to, as Mike said, and again, he's 1,000% right. Oh, well, we did bad because it's not our normal night. because that's an honest to true statement.
Yeah.
When your fans are used to seeing you at a certain time and you're no longer on that time, that's what ends up throwing you off. So we lost.
Makes sense.
We lost this week by about 4,000 fans, but we did get a bunch more money, which is good.
Okay.
We're whole on money. Ooh, we got a Veto Champs card for doing our commissioner goal this week. So that means I can play this, and one of his champions will be not available for the next show after I play it.
Oh.
So, but I can choose when I play it. So I can play it the week before a pay-per-view to go ahead and, get it going.
Okay.
We got Mike saying, my PVR is getting a workout this week. My streaming schedule takes a beating here. Yeah. I've felt the streaming schedule beating lately with taking over last Tuesday after filling in on Busting Out on the Sunday before, and then having the Wrestle Draft on Wednesday, and then the preview show on Friday, and then the Still Mercy post show on Saturday, and Busting Out on Sunday, and taking over last night, and this, and then Loki on Friday, and then if I'm available, Fastlane on Saturday, and if I'm available, Busting Out on Sunday. So much streaming.
Wow.
We got your co-host, CBRS Entertainment, jumping in saying, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Mr. Chris Best. How are you tonight? How's that been going for you? You haven't had a permanent co-host for a while now, and now you've got one back again. How's that going on Turnbuckle Talk? For you, I know how I think about it. But
I personally love it. I love having that co-host, having that dynamic of being able to bounce things off of someone else, and especially somebody like Chris, who is like a wrestling historian. Like he knows his stuff, right? So to be able to bounce stuff off of him, and him being somebody that's for a while was in the ring too, so he kind of has more of an understanding of the business. So it's a lot easier to be able to talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling when you have somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to hop on here with you tonight, because I'm like, I'm not even alone.
I'm so happy to have you here tonight with me. Because it's so much easier than just trying to do this by myself. Tiffany Stratton saying that she is joining me. I was correct that I did have Tiffany Stratton say that she was going to come over. And she says, unfortunately, I'm carrying a minor injury, but I'll be in the ring soon enough.
Okay.
Apparently, Beth Phoenix is from Buffalo. Did not know that.
I didn't either.
The things you find out about where people are from in this game is fantastic. When they're like, oh, my friends and family in Buffalo. And I'm like, cool. Didn't know you were from there, but all right. Schedule running, contract negotiation. Ooh. All right.
Whose contract?
So that's like a freebie. I can take that and I can apply it to anybody. And so like this week, Ludwig Kaiser's last week is this week. If I buy this contract negotiation, I can add 4 more weeks and that will get me through the pay-per-view.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to immediately play that because he's got 1 week remaining. So as you can see, Nikita Lyons is with me for 6 more weeks. Bray for 5 and Beth for 9. But I can apply it to Ludwig, and now he's back for 5 more weeks. So it gets me through the pay-per-view so I can finish his feud on my terms as opposed to having to end it tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. We've got Ashton saying, and you say I'm busy. Yes. I'm not normally this busy. I don't like being this busy. We got Barry Monkey going back a bit. I miss the days where every wrestler had an outside occupation, such as hardworking people that never had time to take off their uniforms before matches. I don't miss and also miss the old 93, 94 era where you had the occupation gimmick, where we had Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and we had who was
LT Hoop Hopper and Abe Knuckleball Schwartz and
the Goon.
Yeah, the Goon.
You guys up in Canada, the Goon.
Yep, my name's Chris Parrish tonight.
Yes, this is Carl's name is for one night and one night only, Chris Parrish.
Just imagine this is a beer.
Yes, it is an alcoholic drink of some sort.
Yeah.
Probably a craft beer. Our local establishment has been his favorite for a little while going on, so I'm sure it probably would have been one of those. Or My Best Friend's Girl, I think, is one of the other beers he enjoys. So it could be something like that.
I will have something then.
You don't have to. You can enjoy
it. For Parrish, for my brother, because I love him, I am going to have an iced tea. A little bit of a spiked iced tea.
There you go. Bobby Petito says that he thinks that Ariana Grace is going to win the NXT Breakout Women's Tournament. Oh, that Breakout Women's Tournament. Look at this. We have Karen Compactor. Look at the backside on Karen here.
It's a dump truck.
It is. And note, she has the Karen haircut too.
I did. I noticed that like little bob type of. Yeah.
We got Ringvald, the Viking.
Okay.
Clint McDougal.
Oh, goodness.
One of my favorites, Silence the Mime.
That's great.
Let's see. We got. So this guy has changed a bit here. He looks like a post-apocalyptic warrior in this game. In the last game, he was a janitor. Okay. So I want to know what happened to him between games. Because something dangerous happened. He lost an eye. He looks like he's a warrior of some sort now.
Did the name stay the same?
Yeah, it's still Mr. Higglesby.
Okay.
Same Mr. Higglesby, just new different thing. Carl, maybe you can attest to this more as you watch a little bit more OVW than I do. Ringvald kind of looks like Circus from OVW.
Go back to him for a second, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. Ringvald.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see it.
She's too expensive, Carl. I can't bring her on the show.
Oh.
She's a permanent talent, but she's $159,000. I've only got 152.
That is expensive. Worth it. If you had the money, worth it.
Yeah, probably. Have you has her episode of Chucky aired already or not? I don't know if it was last season or this season that her episode.
I think it was last.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't even started that series yet. I should. The girlfriend and I have been going through and rewatching Hell's Kitchen lately.
Oh, there you go.
We're on season 10. So.
Oh, goodness. Gunther is at 5 stamina. I think he needs a night off.
I think so as well. Yep.
In honor of my friend Parrish, I should put him in a match because that's what Parrish would do. Even if he only has 5 stamina, he'd still be in a match.
You're goddamn right I'd do it.
I was wondering if I could ever say anything that make you pop in. Parrish, how you doing, buddy?
I am so happy I don't get pregnant.
That is definitely something that we're all happy that you don't get.
But the beard gut is doing fine.
Well, there we go. Can I fight Randy? No, you all two are fighters. I can fight Big E. There we go. Put that there.
Don't do that.
New season started tonight, Chris Parrish says, but I missed. No, that's Chris Best says, but I missed the first episode. Ashton says that it was last season and that she got killed by him. It was iconic. Iconic. Do you think WWE is going to bring them in for the Elimination Chamber? Or at least
I would love it.
They should.
Even if it's just a backstage segment, I think it would be nice, wouldn't you?
Here's an idea. Do the Elimination Chamber for the women's tag team titles. And that is when you can have a mystery tag team. Oh, sure you can. WWE is so known to throw together tag teams.
That is true. They do love that.
And they have enough. They can do it.
Yeah, they can. I think it'd be great. I definitely want to see both of them. I don't know if who is it? It's Billie Kay that's pregnant right now, isn't she?
I believe Jess is the one who's pregnant right now, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, because Dillinger and his girl had their kid already.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Cassie on the show. Like I said, even if the both of them are just backstage, I think it'd be fun just to have the two of them there and to run into Kayla.
Okay.
Like, how fun would it be that the two of them just run into Kayla?
It'd be great if Kayla was the one to announce them in a match.
They could do the pre-show. They just do something with them. Acknowledge them in some. I really hope they do something nice for Emma at the show, even though they've just released her. And
that would be nice.
It would be nice if they bring her in and let her do something on the show.
You know what? Do this then. Have the Iconics take on Emma and Chelsea Green.
That could work.
I would love to see that.
I would have done Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
That would work too.
Yeah.
But again, just put them all on TV. Come on, WWE.
Yeah, I agree. Put them all on.
Do I have an injury rehab?
And thank you, Astrid, for confirming that it is Billy. Thank you.
Mike DeRest says, have at it for the women's tag team titles and have 3 of the 4 pods with the Saw X time trap set up by Alba and Isla.
Set up by.
Yep, that's what I read it with that and assuming that was where it was supposed to go.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, between the 3 of us, can we name 6 women tag teams?
I mean, if so, Chelsea and Doudrop,
Piper Niven.
It's all the same person.
I mean, you got Casey Squared.
Casey Squared. Right. You've got, what's their name? The Way. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
There you go. And then we have Isla and Alba. That could be 4. You bring in the Iconics. That could be 5.
Well, Billy's not going to be able to wrestle, so you can't bring in both the Iconics. Like, you can bring them in to be backstage, or you can bring in Billy to walk down the aisle with
when was she when did she announce she was pregnant? Because wrestling chicks when they're pregnant are different cases.
It's recent.
Yeah, it's very recent.
It was episode 1 of their new podcast that they were talking about pregnancy of season 2 of Off Their Chops, or whatever they call their podcast. Off Her Chops, maybe, I think it is. You could do Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez. You could do Thea Hale and JC Jane. I think you could even, if you really add a stretch, you could probably even do something like Roxanne Perez and insert a name there. Certainly not Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Hell no.
I mean, you can do Shayna and
Zoe.
Zoe, yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
You want to bring in a star power, I'm sure, for one night only.
The Garcias.
People are going to hate me for this.
Bianca.
I know. But you could bring the Bellas.
No, the Garcias.
Yes, now the Garcias.
But in WWE, they'd be the Bellas.
Would they? I think if Sasha comes back, I think she comes back as Mercedes. I think it's in her deal that if she comes back, she's coming back as Mercedes.
You see, she could. Then that's a totally different story now, because that's her working name that she's going by.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the Garcias are too.
True.
For all of their business and or in-ring things, they've said that they are going by the Garcias going forward.
Oh.
How about Beth and Natty?
Beth and Natty would be fun. I could be down for that. Because it seems like Edge ended on good terms. It doesn't seem like he was thrilled with what was going on, but I don't think he hated.
I think the narrative of him being unhappy is BS.
But wasn't he the one? Isn't he the one who said that he was unhappy? That he said it was a struggle.
No, I don't think he said he was unhappy. I think he said he felt that they didn't have much going for him. I mean, what he probably said on TV, I didn't see it because I was not at home. But I mean, what he says on TV, it's all what he says on TV, not necessarily the truth. It could be somewhat in the same. But
I thought these were the things in the Oh,
so the press conference.
As Carl is lost in the fact that Akira Tozawa won a 4-star match. Akira Tozawa is known as the secret weapon.
Wow.
And every now and then you can get him, and he just randomly has these banger matches.
Wow.
As Tozawa does.
I was shocked.
As Tozawa does. Like, I love Tozawa.
Right.
He's not 4-star match Tozawa, but, you know. Asuka Nikita Lyons, a match that I'd like to see, if nothing else. 2-star it's just starting. Brand new rivalry, just starting. Rhea Ripley getting 4 popularity for herself promo. This is a match I'd love to see if Big E comes back. Him versus Trick Williams. 2.5 stars. All right. No feud. That's unfortunate. Main event, Jey Uso getting that popularity. Putting the women in the main event, Io Sky and Gigi Dolan.
Come on, yes, Gigi. Yes.
3.5 stars.
If they did Chamber after Mania, she could do Chamber. But if it's in February, definitely not.
Yeah, no, it's in February. As Ashley says, Billy's baby announcement says arriving in December 2023.
Okay.
Again,
okay,
I think that means that she could absolutely appear at the show, but I don't think she'd be anywhere near in-ring shape.
I mean, 2 months. I mean, okay, to be fair, though, some girls can just like that.
I agree.
Do not underestimate a chick, man. They are tough.
I think it's more mental than physical at that point, where I don't think she'd want to get back in the ring mentally.
I mean, Paige's mom wrestled when she was pregnant. Come on, let's set the standard.
Yes, and we've seen the results with Saraya about her decision-making since that decision was made. I mean, she's dating Rodney Radke. Isn't that the loser's name, Rodney Radke?
I don't know. I don't care about her personally.
Yes, it is.
He's in some band, right?
Yep.
Are they any good?
I saw them live, and they were fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard good things online about him, but I don't know.
He is very opinionated. He does have his own different types of views on certain things, and
people are allowed.
They're a match made in heaven, then.
They are, because she is very. We got Valhalla getting a big win there.
2 D's in a pod.
Becky Lynch against Bianca Belair.
Ooh. What about Liv Morgan and Valhalla? But for one night, she goes back to being Sarah Logan.
That would work. At that point, you might even be able to have Ruby Riott, because Lord knows AEW is not going to keep her at this rate.
All I know is I want Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss back on my TV screen soon.
Alexa Bliss had French fries on her belly today. I don't think she's coming anywhere back close to the wrestling ring anytime soon. Bobby Pacino says Cassie.
And is that your way to make Caro jealous that she had fries on her tummy?
But let's put it this way. I did send that tweet to somebody and goes, Alexa, I'm on my way.
You should have just replied with the Peter Griffin, ding, fries are done, ding, fries are done.
No, that's unfortunately a thing. So that meme, I was doing that meme before the show was even doing it. Because that's the sound that the fries make at McDonald's. That is the sound the Fryolator makes, is ding, ding, ding. And it sounds like ding, fries are done, which is why the meme lives. Because it's a reality. Yep. Chris Messnut saying it is falling in reverse. His girlfriend is misinformed him. Mike DeRef says, look, no matter what happens here, the worst booking decision of this month is the Blue Jays manager today. Did another Toronto team choke today, Mike?
Sure did. But I mean,
I know Toronto teams are used to choking when you've got the Maple Leafs up there in Toronto.
Sure are.
Ooh, I got a special promotion for the happy campers. I've made 3 superstars very happy. So now,
to be fair, the only team from Toronto that doesn't suck is like the Toronto Rock. But even in Canada, they don't care enough about lacrosse, which is a wicked game and our national sport.
Chris Best asks, how long was it until Becky came back after her and Seth's baby was born? I want to say it was about 6 months.
Well, she left right after Money in the Bank, like the COVID Money in the Bank.
That was
the next day. Yeah, and then she came back at SummerSlam.
Because it was early. They did it early that year.
And then she came back at was it SummerSlam where she beat Bianca in like 10 seconds?
Yeah, but I think it was the following year SummerSlam. I don't think it was the same year, was it?
No.
Good thing I didn't plan the parade, says Chris Best.
Definitely wouldn't have been the same year.
No.
Although Becky is someone who's like, oh, okay, kids out of me. Yeah, I'm going back to wrestling the next day. She kind of comes across as that person.
Oh, I mean, so Queen Bee was not happy, so she's leaving. But she gave me some money back, so that's always nice.
That's what I was gonna pop in and be like, well, you buy Liv Morgan by releasing someone, and then you have money.
But I didn't want to spend that much money on Liv Morgan because I only had it would have made booking that last show pretty tough. Going back on more great names from here, we got Pretty Ruthless, Nick Nosedive,
what?
Billy Slugger, which honestly is a very WWE name.
Anytime I hear Slugger, I'm thinking of Richie Rich. Hiya, Slugger.
Flint McStones, which is a very WCW name.
Yeah, because it looks like a BS version of a Flintstone character. So yeah, that does scream WCW.
Chester. We have Mr. Higglesby again. So Jive Owens went from white to black in between games. He was a white man into it, like a white man with like 70s disco clothes, and now he's basically this. So
it's Michael Jackson in reverse.
Yes, but they actually have a Michael Jackson. We don't have him this week, but they do have a Michael Jackson guy called Jackson Smooth.
Oh yeah, I remember. Wow. Yeah, I remember him.
We are going to go ahead and pick up Astrid, though, as Wendy Chu is available. So we're going to go ahead and pick up Astrid.
Can we clip that, please? Ed saying we're going to pick up Astrid.
46 minutes.
That is...
Won't be the last time we pick up Astrid. All right, so we're going to go ahead and book this logistics. That's nice and easy. All right. Are people healthy yet? 35, 46, 40, 52.
Don't you have health spas or anything like that stuff?
A few, but I've been burning them trying to get people healthy. No, I have none left. Well, I got pre-match physios, so...
Look at all those contract negotiations you can buy.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Akira Tozawa, Bray Wyatt, steel cage match. And now we play a pre-match physio to hopefully prevent Akira Tozawa from getting injured.
Hmm.
And just to screw with Eric Bischoff, we're going to double his cost next week.
Suck it, bastard.
So there actually is a lot of like strategy and thinking that needs to actually go into this. I've watched a little bit of what you guys do, but I've never really paid full attention like I am here tonight. And this is this is pretty intense.
So like when you have this on your system, like you can like go in and just like roam around before you do anything, right?
Good night, time.
When we play, we go through Steam, so it's Ed's version of the game. Okay. So I completely forget what I do every week. So I'm going in like, and I'm just like off the cuff right there.
Wow.
I mean, but that's fun though. It's like I make local promoters and bookers jealous with how much better I can do it.
Two weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
You should release Riddle because it'd be realistic.
Yeah, it would. Is there a cheap female? No. Babyface.
Molly Holly. Just turn her.
Yes, but then I can't use her this week in the match that I want to use her in. She's also $91,000.
Yeah, because she's Molly freaking Holly. That's why.
Yes, but for one less popularity, I can get a heel Lita.
That is
honestly make childhood Ed very happy.
Which is hilarious because Molly Holly was way better as a heel than Lita ever was.
She was. I will. Yes. I am a huge fan of Lita. I have always loved watching Lita, but she was not the greatest heel.
Her best heel work was with Edge. And, well,
yes,
all she had to do was get rated R.
Literally on television.
Yeah, she had to change her. She had to twist her fate and get rated R. Like, boy, oh boy, bring me back that feud, AEW. Matt Hardy and Adam Copeland.
Right?
No more parties. I was sad when I still heard that the Hardys were taking on Daddy Magic and the rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society. And
they're no more.
Idiot.
The JAS is no more. I even know that.
Well, yeah, but they're all it's what? It's Daddy Magic, Cool Dink Luke, Dancing Dum Dum.
Cool Dink Luke.
What's his name? Cool Hand Luke or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. Douchebag Luke. I don't know. All I know is they're teaming with the Dancing Idiot. And by the way, I love Daniel Garcia. I think he's super talented. I hate that his entire character has been boiled down to I'm a dancing fucknut.
Yes, but you'd love him if you went to Impact and did stuff with Fandango. Don't lie.
No, I want to see him wrestle like the way he can wrestle. I don't need to see him being a dancing fucknut.
And then Tyler Breeze can come back and just be like, "Oh, dude, my God.
I can't wait to see Tyler Breeze pop up in Impact in WWE."
I think he was on the bump this morning.
He was.
Yeah.
Bobby,
yeah, I know. I watched it on TV because I was home.
Marina Shafir in a tag team with Nyla Rose against Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander.
Oh, I thought we were talking about your show. I'm like, what? Yep.
Astrid wasn't going to bed. She was just being windy. I'm sorry, Astrid. I got confused. It's late. 2.5. Come on, Nikita. Come on, man. Do better than that. We got babyface Randy Orton versus babyface Matt Riddle. By the way, 1 star. That's not good.
That came out of nowhere.
Speaking of, I don't know if it's a new video, but when was Randy Orton's birthday? Was that recently?
Couldn't tell you.
I believe so.
Because on Instagram today, I saw a video from Kim where apparently she gave him a birthday gift of a pregnancy test.
Right.
So I think Randy's expected.
His birthday is April Fool's.
Oh, so maybe it's I don't know. I saw it on Instagram today.
I saw that a little while ago, so it could have been an old one.
Maybe.
It's because Randy Orton is trending because he went to the PC and apparently he looks jacked. But it's it's Randy Orton.
The Mania says Miss Astrid.
But it's Randy Orton. The guy has more abs than most people have brain cells, so.
Mm-hmm. And he has more brain cells than most people have abs. Which for a wrestler isn't always a guarantee.
Hey,
you guys
Lewinsky went from Harvard. Got to have a few brain cells to go there. Vader's on Boy Meets World. You're only intelligent as F if you go on that show.
Speaking of Vader versus Shinsuke Nakamura, a match I would love to have seen in a Dream World scenario.
Well, New Japan would have had that for sure.
Well, I don't think Vader was still wrestling when Nakamura was coming up.
No, but he did a lot of Japanese stuff.
He did, and he wrestled a lot of great Japanese matches. Which is why I would have loved to have seen him versus Naka.
I would have loved if this guy has a brother and it's just ALC and then his last name is HOL. Think about it.
Yep.
And we've got the tag team champions of Sami Zayn and Robert Roode taking on Braun Strowman and Montez Ford.
Gloriously Ginger coming out on top.
4 stars. Fucking Eric Bischoff. I did not have a good show there. However, nobody got hurt.
There you go.
Including Tozawa, thankfully.
Yes, because that card I played helped keep Tozawa from getting hurt. So, all right. We're starting.
Why does he always have more money than anybody?
I don't know. And I played double cost against him this week too. So
if he always had money, why did he go out of business?
I am now about 23,000 short of Eric Bischoff, but I'm still ahead due to the trophy. So, that's not happy. I thought that was going to happen.
Well, yeah, her husband left.
Oh, I forgot to put her on the show in Buffalo. No, wasn't she on the show? Whoopsies. She's not getting 100,000, so.
I mean, Beth, it's Buffalo.
All right, Asuka. I can guarantee you win your next match. That's easy enough.
Nobody comes out a winner in Buffalo, right, Mike?
Asuka versus Nikita. I don't like doing this, but
he's a Bulls fan. His team's good.
Bobby Petito says that Raquel Rodriguez mentioned Jade Cargill name to them. Well, yes, they want everybody. The thing is, like, so here's something that I'm sure is going to get brought up on Sunday when Tom Collihue's on Busting Out. But
co-hosting,
yes. When people bring up, literally ask you questions about people, it doesn't count when people are like, oh, she got mentioned or this person got mentioned. Yeah, of course CM Punk got mentioned by Shawn Michaels during the No Mercy call. Because Nick Hausman literally asked a question, what do you think about bringing in CM Punk?
I mean, Sami Zayn said AEW on Raw. MJF said Cody Rhodes on Dynamite today.
No.
Yeah. Talking about all the things he's done on Dynamite. Oh, he strapped Cody Rhodes 10 times.
All right, so we're going into a pay-per-view, so I'm going to go through my...
people leave doesn't mean you have to erase the history.
Yeah. I'm going to go through my litany list of screwing people. So I've now played...
Like on the game? Or...
Yeah, on the game.
Okay.
I played a Veto Champ card against Eric Bischoff for next week's pay-per-view show. I played a Veto Random Superstar for next week's pay-per-view for Eric Bischoff. And all of his specialty matches are going to cost double on that week's show. That's my commissioner goal. Free crew booking if I book my least popular available cruiser, which is Jey Uso. Barely.
He's your least?
Yes, 61.
Oh, wow.
It's main event Jay, bro.
He's at 61 popularity. That's not bad. He was in the first feud for the championship until Carmelo.
Yeah, but he's arguably the second most popular guy on Raw right now.
Akira Tozawa has a stamina of 0.
Well, after the beating he took at the hands of Bray Wyatt, I would say so.
I think I should give him the week off.
I'm surprised I saw Karrion Kross's stamina every time he goes to work.
Well, that's assuming Karrion Kross actually has a match.
I'm not talking. Well, we'll just leave it at that. Carl, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper.
So, Carl, I know this one will bust Carl a little bit here. Dewey Carter.
Why does that look like Noam Dar? Just
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Foley's kid, right?
It looks like it.
It looks like him. His first name is
King Dewey.
Foley's kid.
Sorry, that was.
Isn't it Dewey Foley?
Yeah.
Is that his?
Yeah, that's his last name. Yeah.
Oh, you got to get Cindy Fluff on board. That just looks like Naomi 2.0.
This looks like. Never mind. I'm not going to repeat what I thought that was going to look like. We got Penelope Perfect, which is the original version of Tiffany Stratton. By the way, did anybody see the memes coming out when Tiffany had talked about how the original Daddy's Little Rich Girl character had gotten dropped quietly because of something WWE had told her that they couldn't find her a daddy?
Well, no, I heard it's because they couldn't re-sign Christian.
Which is why I'm glad that AEW, because I could have imagined Christian showing up and going, Tiffany doesn't have a dad.
I will tell you guys something after the show that I think both of you will find very funny.
Okay.
It's not like bad or anything like that. It's just a really funny rib, but I'm not going to spoil it on screen.
All right, we're going to bring in LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be a dummy if you didn't.
Yeah.
We're bringing in Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
And we're going to immediately turn Ivy Nile.
Here's a potential tag team that I think could work. Ivy Nile and Shayna Baszler.
I dig it.
Speaking of Ivy Nile, did you guys get a chance to see on her Twitter page she was doing a handstand on top of a press bar?
Yep.
With her feet against the wall.
Oh, that was her?
That was her.
Was that like the red and black background?
Yeah. Well, no, it was a white background. And then Julius was doing a press up from the full ground of the. That's fucking impressive, man. Like that bar. Granted, there was a small weight on there other than her, but like that was impressive. And
did
then
you
her
also
husband did it today?
Did you also see that Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham tried doing the same thing and it looked like they failed?
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's what I saw. Maybe that's what I saw. I don't know. I just didn't care, so I scrolled.
All right, so we got.
Now I gotta. I need to find out now.
All right, Bruiser. So I got a fighter. That's you. Yes, perfect. You're going to call out Ivy Nile.
Oh, it did fail so bad. That's funny.
Did you guys? You guys saw the Jade Cargill.
She nutted up by mistake, too. That's so good.
You guys saw the Jade Cargill celebration in their husband plan with like WWE bound and the part in like the thing he did for her? The pictures of that? Yeah, so he decorated a room with like balloons and he did a thing that said WWE bound. And it was like this like romantic dinner. And Jordan Grace quote tweeted it and goes, Gresham, why don't you do things like this for me? And Gresham goes, you didn't get signed by WWE. And then immediately apparently deleted it.
Oh, wow.
Where's Black Machismo when you can? Because that was a great impersonation of Mr. Savage.
Wow.
That's so funny. And this is how we know. This is why guys go in the doghouse.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
absolutely 1,000% deserved too.
When you can just roast your wife verbally on Twitter. I mean, to be fair, you fucking nutted him. Okay. Oh yeah, it was Ivy Nile. And now I got to see how it was really done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on Ivy Nile's X page.
Yep.
I don't like. It sounds dirty. I'm just gonna put it out there.
On her X.
Saying on my X page, it sounds dirty.
It does. I agree 1,000%. I still have a hard time getting myself to say it.
I'd have a hard time getting on my X page too.
Okay. All right.
You missed me, didn't you?
I mean, yes and no. All of the time. Bobby Petito, Ivy Nile did a match on Level Up against Kaya Saint. Well, that's definitely a WWE NXT name if I've ever heard one.
What was the name?
Kaya Saint. Kiyah.
Oh, the last name is way better than the first name.
Well, yes, it makes her sound like she's the child of Johnny Saint.
I mean, I once wrestled as Stevie Saint, so it's all relative.
Yes, but Parrish is definitely not a Saint.
Well, I mean, it was a nickname.
Oh, Wendy Chu promo call out. That's cool.
Yeah. So, like, you've got ways that you can do it. Like, you can do matches to promote rivalries. You can do call-outs where somebody just goes out on the mic and just calls people out. Promos take less stamina than matches do. So you can go ahead and, even if you don't have somebody not on the show, you can rest them a little bit by having them do promos. There's a lot to this mode. Like you said earlier, there's a lot you got to counteract. You got to... The fighting styles, they have to kind of match. The popularity's got to be in the right spot.
Right.
And that didn't go well. 2.5 stars from LA Knight. But he's under rivalry, so that's good.
Yeah, no, it was Ivy Nile one because they have the writing is red and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I did see. Okay, cool.
I just remember the wall wasn't red. So when you said red, I'm like, no, it can't be the right one because the wall is like a white or a blue itself.
I just thought it was one of those like couples things, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, don't care. And then
look at this. This is what, like, you know, take Hogan aside and the crap that is Hulk Hogan. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Hulk Hogan versus Adrian Buck.
I'm cheering for Adrian Buck.
A little really... more bass in his, name there, Adrian Buck.
Oh, he's a Buck, because of course he did, brother.
Yeah, I bet you Adrian Buck just like dropped on his back like Jeff Jarrett. Said, "You want it? Here you
Come on, Vader." Oh.
2.5 star. There's no realm of possibility where Vader versus Nakamura is 2.5 stars.
Come on, Montez.
Nope. Tag champions retain. 4 stars.
Yeah, I'm very aware I also cheered against the Canadians. You don't have to point that one out. But it is, Glorious Ginger, which has to be their name.
Glorious Ginger. Oh. All right. Well, we're getting ready to go to the pay-per-view. Let's see how I did. 45.
Hey, if Bobby Roode was part of our local establishment, do you know what we'd call him?
Bobby Ol'Ed?
The Glory Ol'Ed.
I knew Ol'Ed was in there somewhere. Oh, I've got a second trophy now. Revenue tier. I've now achieved over $2 million lifetime in revenue. I also got a free crew booking.
Nice.
But I am now 35,000 fans behind Eric Bischoff. That's not good. But we got SummerSlam now. And SummerSlam is very big. Ludwig Kaiser, I've had enough crap. Can you just stay one more week, Ludwig? Come on. I played a card on you. I'm not giving you money. Can you just stay one more week? Fuck you. Fine.
Do you have a morale thing?
No, he's gone. He's all gone. Bye-bye.
No, but didn't I do it where that happened, and you just play the morale thing on him, and then he's like okay now.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't have that card.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was sketchy, but so smooth, Carl. So like somebody was like, I didn't give them what they want. They're like pissed off, and they're about to leave, or they were leaving in like a week or something. And then I just played a morale card, and then they were happy. And then when they came up, they re-signed at a cheaper cost. It was so good.
At cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh. So the happier they are, typically the less that it costs to sign them because they're happy where they're at.
They're willing to take a pay cut because they're happy. And you can lowball them, which is great when you don't have money. As I experienced about a month ago when we did this with a $40,000 show.
Ooh. Stacked McSlacks. Captain Grog. The pirate. Heath Manhattan, or as I like to call him, Deuce or Domino.
You still don't know who was who, do you?
Don't care. They look similar enough, and so does he. Gunther McGirder.
Oh, I thought that's a Gunther McRider, and I was like, wow.
Trent Shaw. That sounds like a Canadian name.
That's, I mean, is it? Yeah. I mean, I'm honk.
I didn't even think of him. Yeah, that does make sense. Honestly, I hadn't thought of him since I left LW.
It's funny. I think I found his. No, I'm not even going to repeat that.
No, we're going to keep moving on. We got Eve Tor. Look at this young Wade Barrett.
Oh, you got to get him.
All right, fine.
And then you go to Bischoff and be like, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
So these are all the other ways that you can earn trophies. The more you play. So the great thing about this is the reason why it's only 25 weeks this time around, Carl, is because they did 50-week seasons in the last game, the first time they had it. And one of the bigger complaints that people had was you play a season, then it's over. So in this one, they're like, fine, we'll shorten the seasons. And they have these My GM trophies that you can get along the way. And you keep redrafting. And the more seasons you play, the less money you get drafting. So you've got to become better and better at keeping talent and being good at the game to try to make your way.
Okay.
So like if you get a trophy if you finish first in one season. If you finish first in 3 seasons, you get another trophy. If you finish first in 5 seasons, you get another trophy. If you do 7 seasons in second place or better. And then you've got like lifetime revenue. So 2 million, 10 million, 20 million, 50 and 100 million. And then fans, 4, 5.5, 7, 8.5, and 10.
Okay.
So they give you like lifetime achievements.
So what are the 2 achievements that you have reached already?
So right now I've gotten the one right up top here for earning $2 million in my lifetime. So my shows have attributed. I've earned $2 million in all of my shows so far.
Okay.
So I've earned this one. And then on every season, you have your seasonal goals. When you complete 5 of these seasonal goals, you get the seasonal legend, which gets you a trophy.
Okay.
And so like I had to do 8 shows at a perfect curve and gain 225 popularity, book steel cage matches, fulfill promises, 8 shows with a self promo. So like I only have one more show that I need with a self promo to finish this off for the week. And then I'll be done all my seasonal challenges. All right. So SummerSlam.
And go back to your power cards for a second.
Yeah.
You don't think you should get that health spa, by the way?
I'm thinking about it. I want to book the show first.
Okay. You can use free crew booking and save money so you can still get it.
Yeah, but the crew booking is only $10,000. So I'm not sure I want to spend it just yet.
But it makes that card only 20 then.
Agreed. All right, so I can finally blow off this match. That's fine. I can run. Bailey's still out.
Hey, we want some Bailey. No, she's hurt.
Yeah, she's still hurt. Tiffany Stratton can debut this week, which is nice. You girls are going to have to go out there.
You go, girls.
You gentlemen are going to have to go out there, and we're going to have to play another pre-match physio on Akira Tozawa. I don't think it's going to work twice, but we're going to try.
See, Ed? It's fun to risk other people's health.
Yes, but I'm only doing it not because it's like, oh, screw it, I'll just do it.
Hey, man, we're putting on a show for people.
Does Akira and Bray have a step to it?
Right now, nothing is. So my pay-per-view style is I put all my feuds that have rivalries on the board.
Right.
And then I go from there.
Oh, so you can go back and add the step in to a match. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I can change it to a tag match, triple threat. I can keep doing it. As long as I
can even change the order if you want to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now I'm just basically putting in the matches that I have and seeing what I want. So all right, level 2 feud. All right, 1, 2, 4. All right, so there's my main event. No championships on the line. That's always a good pay-per-view. Well, most of my champions were hurt. Like, to be fair, so Kofi was in a big long feud, but now Ludwig Kaiser, Mr. Tiffany Stratton, got her panties up his ass, and now he left. So Kofi has no feud anymore. So I don't have that feud. Mello just came back from his injury as my world heavyweight champion.
Okay.
Shocker.
And Bailey's still hurt, but she's my women's champion. So I don't have a lot of titles to put on the line here.
You don't have any tag
titles? Didn't you always give me grief by doing the same thing though?
So here's the difference. Tiffany Stratton came injured from Eric Bischoff. She emailed me and she was like, hey, I'm sick of working for Bischoff. So I'm going to come to you next week. And then Bischoff put her on the show and got her hurt for 3 weeks. I take the blame for the other two,
though. That's sketchy on Bischoff's part, but that's in wrestling. That's just good business.
Oh no, it's absolutely what a promoter would do.
If your business ain't sketchy business in wrestling, you're losing. You're losing. Carl's like, I'm just staying out of this.
So, is there not a tag team championship that you have on your show that could be defended on this pay-per-view?
I do, but maybe.
Are they in a feud?
Gunther and Trick Williams are your tag team champions?
Yes, that was an accident. They accidentally won a match. They accidentally won a match against RK Bro. And I'm like, oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Okay, one of those people in that match was high, and then you booked that?
I did book that shit. That is something I did.
Oh.
And in Ed's mind, it was such good shit.
He just asked the fans, marijuana see it?
There we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Charity.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you thought that was a bad dad joke, here's this one. But it's also statistically true. Did you know a kangaroo can jump higher than the Eiffel Tower? And this is because the Eiffel Tower can't jump.
Well, this is true. The Eiffel Tower definitely cannot jump.
You are smiling right now. I know that. Look.
Me?
No, Carl.
Oh, I'm like,
I just know it with the way his eyes go. I know when he's smiling or not.
How have you not taken all of these,
laughing.
compiled them into a book, and sold it on like Amazon?
Because I drink, Carl. That is why.
Oh.
Sometimes I forget things.
Hey, good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
I duck too and say, huh?
So, Carl, why don't you tell us a couple of the things that you talked about without going into too much detail on this week's Turnbuckle Talk so that the fans who haven't seen it might want to go back and take a look?
We did a little talk about, obviously, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam Copeland making his way over. We did a little bit of talk about... why am I drawing blanks here? I'm going to find it.
Okay.
I have brain injuries, man.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was
No, it's all good. It's literally right
I just
here,
like it because I undid my headphones. After the question, I put them back on. I have brain injuries.
It's true. We talked about a plethora of topics. It was actually called a plethora of choices because we wanted to reiterate at the end of the show that there are a number of different companies for people to watch. We also talked about Breakout NXT, Jade Placement, Edge filing with the board, Free Agent War, Brian Pillman Jr., and a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm interested. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. Not a big one, not a normal Ed rant, but a little bit of a thing here. So on Tuesday night, I want to say it was last Tuesday, they had this really short promo package that we didn't even realize was a vignette. And it was just like a TV changing channels and somebody like with a clicker in their hand. And it went through like a couple different things and it ended on WCW Saturday night. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the pay-per-view, they played a longer version of that vignette. And it had this person clicking back and forth between WCW moments in history and WWE moments in history. And it was going through a couple different things. And then the person turns off the TV and you see that the tiger, Bengal tiger appearing through the TV. And you see the long blonde locks. And you're like, oh, okay, that's probably going to be Brian Pillman Jr. And then USA Network goes, that was a really cool Brian Pillman Jr. promo on No Mercy last night. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And then Pillman retweeted it. And I'm like, well, just for confirmation, it's definitely him. Like, even if we wanted to say it wasn't, he just retweeted it.
But here's something also, like a different way of looking at this too.
Yeah.
How many fans knew right away it's Brian Pillman Jr.? A lot, right? They know. They just know. Also, too, when he's going back and forth between WCW and WWE, and you're getting single people. Remember, all the people he's watching are second generational superstars, just like him.
I love the promo. I just wish the USA Network Twitter didn't just be like, hey, that's a cool Brian Pillman Jr. promo.
Oh, but let's take out the who is this, and let's now add I can't wait for this.
Oh, I agree. I'm super stoked because it means they're going to be.
And this is the brilliance of WWE for changing the narrative that still gets the same reaction.
Yeah. 3.5-star match in a TLC between Lita and JC Jane, but no rivalry.
You bought her. You brought her on just to like put her through hell.
Yeah,
good for you, man. I like your style.
Nikita Lyons gets a 3.5-star match with Asuka in an Extreme Rules match.
It's great.
Well, she does do the Lions pounce, so that does work.
I wonder if
Chris Best saying, well, the video did showcase a lot of what Brian Pillman Sr. did. I agree. Like, I don't hate the fact that they told us it. It's just I wanted that little bit of mystery, even though I knew, and I know a lot of fans knew. I like the idea that vignettes don't always exactly tell you who it is.
I'm curious if they're going to call him Brian Pillman Jr. I say this because going into WWE, Rey Mysterio Jr. stopped calling himself Jr. and was just Rey Mysterio.
I think part of that is because they didn't have anything to do with the Rey Mysterio name. So they didn't care about the Junior, whereas they have an active interest in Brian Pillman Jr. And
sure,
again,
but I'm curious.
Like I said on NXT, I think there's a whole lot more that they're going to do with bringing in his heritage and his family lines and talking about his dad, unlike if they ever actually do get David Benoit, and they're going to absolutely change that fucker's name, because there's no way any of them are ever going to let that man on that TV with that last name.
But he's here and he's really mad. And he's really angry.
That's fine.
Play your kazoo.
He can be angry. If he wants to be Benoit, he's going to do it somewhere else.
But here's one thing. I think here's one.
4.5-star Akira Tozawa and Bray Wyatt. That's the Falls Count Anywhere match. Oh shit.
Oh, your main event is fucked.
Come on, ladies.
But
can
here's
you
also
give me 5 stars? 5 stars? No.
Here's the thing, though. If you can remember the name Brian Pillman, that's a name you're still going to be thinking when you see this person, even if they use Junior or not.
No, I agree.
They want you thinking Brian Pillman because, in a way, that's exactly who they're giving you.
Yeah.
So I actually like it for that reason, because Brian Pillman, when it comes to WWF and WWE history, you may not remember him. It takes a really hardcore / older fan to remember the time he spent in the WWF.
Agreed.
Which is why they probably are going to WCW over Hart Foundation days.
Which I'm fine with. Like, I'm fine with them promoting WCW was great. It's smart. But I feel like there was...
And they're sure shit ain't going to use the time where he pulled a gun on Steve Austin and staying up late.
I totally disagree with you on that. They're going to bring that up again at some point. That made them a ton of money. And it was...
That got me grounded. So it's one thing when I was lying to my parents about staying up and watching something other than wrestling. It's another thing when I got caught watching wrestling that happened to be a guy pulling a gun on someone, and it had the most abrupt ending that made sitcoms and late night shows look shameful because it outdid it with the oh my god factor.
I also do want to point out here that Akira Tozawa is fine. The card did help keep Akira Tozawa safe in his Falls Count Anywhere match. However, Gunther in his table match did get hurt for 4 weeks. But Lita's a natural at TLC matches. That's good to know.
Who would have thought?
Randy Orton and Jey Uso work well together in tag teams.
I don't know. Man, is this algorithm drinking more than me? Or
136,000 fans for me, 144 for Bischoff. But he lost.
He lost money.
Almost 100 grand. I made 13,000. He lost almost 100 grand. So I'll take
Bischoff, duck to and go F yourself.
So he's at just under 70,000. So about 50,000.
I love the fact that you look like a raw version of Cody Rhodes.
I do.
Like, he's not even in the... No, he is in the game.
So,
What you want to talk about?
Brian Pillman Jr., because USA told me to.
We got Bray Wyatt saying his contract is coming up at the end of the week. That's not good. 87,000. Bray, how about 60? How about 60, Bray? All right, Bray's going to take it. He's not happy about it, but he'll take it. Moderate decrease to his morality.
Don't make it depressed, bro.
Trips, I know. I think this is the latest I've ever been scolded by Triple H for not having my main event outdo my matches. Jey Uso wants to do something for his family and friends in San Francisco.
Okay.
Put him in a title match, but fix it.
Major decrease to Rhea Ripley because I didn't give her $50,000 for all the hard work that she's been putting in.
50,000.
I don't
risk
have
that on. Oh, that's fair. Okay, what all do you have here? GM cost.
So, rope-a-dope. Using at least one fighter superstar in a match increases its quality.
Oh, you got to do Champions Resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate Betrayal. GM interferences cost twice as much, but increase the popularity of the stars in the match. And that would run for the rest of the season because it's 10 shows. Champions Resolve. The players' male and female singles belt holders gain 15 popularity and are guaranteed to win all of their matches. Well, I've never done this one, so I'm going to give it a shot.
Now, it says while the shakeup is active, how long does it stay active for?
So, because it's an instant, I'm assuming it'll be here the rest of the season.
Okay.
It should say seasonal if that's the case, like Moneymaker. So every time I use that selected superstar from my Moneymaker, I get $10,000. I don't remember who that is, but I get $10,000 when I book them. I think it was Beth Phoenix who went away.
So, Carl, I've never accessed this screen in the year or the season and a bit that we've been doing this show. I am pretty bad for not checking some stuff, but somehow still do okay.
Yeah, you're doing just fine.
Interesting.
I do meet all my goals that like Triple H puts out though. Like that's like the only one I make sure I do. And then he just maybe that's why he always gives me stuff because I always do what he asks.
Maybe.
Could be.
We never knew why I always got some.
You are a little bitch who sucks up to Triple H, so that does make sense.
Hey man, it's all about the game and how you play it. And I just make sure my knee pads are in good order.
Chris Beth says, Parrish, at least you didn't get hot and grounded like I did when my grandmother walked in on Miss Kitty flashing everybody.
I was in public when I saw that one. And then the next month when I saw somebody older do the same thing.
Oh.
That would be Bay Young
Flash as well. Yeah.
We got
and that was the time. And I'm going to throw this guy under the bus. I'm just not going to say who it is, though. I went with a couple friends, and one guy ordered a bowl of ketchup and ate it with a spoon. Yeah. This was over 20 some odd years ago, and that's still weird to me. But he gets me good deals and oil changes, so I'm not going to throw him under the bus by name.
Matt Adore.
Ol'Ed. Come on. Come on.
I was going to say that's just a bunch of bull right there.
I was self-promotional.
So I've realized a lot of my people are hurting. So I'm going to...
Here's a question. Is Captain Grog, would he not be really good on the PLE One Night Stand?
It would be a perfect match made in heaven.
Could be the last man standing, too. Just remember, Ed, you asked people to come on.
Well, yes, because I assumed that you weren't going to be here.
I didn't think so either.
Chris Betts says, yeah, I was with OMD the following month when Mae Young flashed everybody. By the way, can we just give it up for Mae Young being one of the most game people to do anything and everything in the Attitude Era?
I kind of want Mae Young to be added to the games. Her and Moolah.
I know Moolah did a ton of stuff. I know Moolah did a ton of stuff that people don't like, and she doesn't deserve to be as celebrated as she is. But Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah did so much good work for so many people during the late Attitude Era. And I really think the two of them as a combined act should go in the Hall of Fame.
I think they are. I think they are.
Individually, I want to see the combined act from that 4-year gap where they were a team doing all their shtick. I think that's the part I want in the Hall of Fame. Because they put over Bully Ray. I mean, he will go on and on and on when you ask him about them and about how he didn't want to put them through a table, but they demanded it.
I'm pretty sure that Moolah, was it Moolah? No, it was Mae Young.
Called him a pussy, I believe. It was. The terminology was he was called a pussy by an 80-year-old woman because he wouldn't want to put her through a table.
If you say no, you are one. Like it is what it is. And good for Bully Ray, man. Like you have to. And that got him the heat. Sometimes you have to do stuff like that to get to the next level. And he maintained it. And that's the important thing. Sometimes you just need that moment to get you there because you have the talent to like remain there. You just need that moment. And wrestling's always about those moments.
Otherwise known as Frank the Clown.
That just looks like if Doink the Clown got on screen with his drug problems. And then ask people, why no, I got these scars.
All right. Kofi Kingston versus Braden the Dark.
Also, did you not do Kofi and Big E earlier?
I think I did at one point.
Yeah.
Bailey in the main event against Tiffany Stratton? Against
who's the Alexa Bliss look like?
Lula Tandy. There you go, Lula. Women's Championship match, Lula. Go for it.
Put this in a gimmick match. You know you want to.
I don't have the money for any gimmick matches.
Come on, you have 53.
Yeah, and I'm spending 45. And that's after I played cards because I couldn't afford it after I bought half the our local enhancement talents. You versus Hayes versus Riddle. World title on the line. There.
You want to put a title match as your opener because the title match will get you more?
No, because this is a level 3 rivalry and these are against nobodies. Our local enhancement talents. Advertising. You. Advertising. You. Charity. You.
GG. Oh. Oh yeah, you have like no cards. Ooh.
Mr. Higglesby. Okay. We're going to do 1, maybe 2 more weeks, and then we're going to call it for the night. Nikita wins, 3.5 stars, grows to level 4. Nice.
And this is just a SmackDown episode that we're seeing?
This is just a random SmackDown.
Okay.
I brought in enhancement talents, and you know what? I just said, you know what? Here, have title matches, enhancement talents. If you win, you get signed to the company.
Okay.
Imagine going for a tryout as an enhancement talent and being told you're in a title match. All right, Kofi retained. That's good. Does Bayley retain? Yes, Bayley retains. Even better. 3 stars. Well, I booked myself out of this hole.
That's the thing. If you're going to do a cheap show, you have to do a perfect curve, or else you're screwed.
Oh, yeah. CBRS Entertainment. I won't lie. I marked out when Moolah beat Ivory for the women's title. Yeah. I marked out for a lot of things back in the day that I wouldn't mark out for now. Almost the entirety of the Attitude Era. There you go, Carl. Vader gets a big win. Good. Doink the Clown calling out Bobby Roode.
Hey, it was an excellent promo rating, though.
I can totally see him just squirt Bobby Roode with the flour. That is glorious.
Finn Balor versus Angelo Dawkins for the World Championship. I can see that. New champion, Angelo Dawkins. Dethroning the Finn, or as my mother calls him, the Leprechaun.
Oh, Balor's title defense is Finn. How about that?
Yeah, that's all Finn. Mm-hmm. 4.5 stars, and Becky's out 4 weeks. Sounds like a Ronda Rousey match. Sounds more like a Nia Jax match, but whatever.
Hey, she hasn't hurt anybody yet.
Well, no.
Hey, look at those SmackDown levels there.
Yeah, I did all right this week.
Yeah.
Not the best show, but not the worst show.
Clark smacked up because of those numbers. Get what I'm saying?
So who the hell is Braden the Dark? Got this kind of hammering the crowd. Got the kind of hammering the crowd was expecting. Oh, what the hell that?
If his finisher isn't called Shot in the Dark, I don't know. I just don't know.
Kaiser, how did Kofi Kingston beg the GM to get out of the match with you? You quit. Third tweet down. I don't know if you guys can see it right here.
Yeah.
Kaiser, I heard Kofi Kingston beg the GM to get out of the match with me. Desperate for a win? You quit my show, son of a bitch. Don't be criticizing my show if you quit.
You should hire him just to fix a match so he loses and then fucking fire him. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
All right, well, I didn't win the week. I got pretty close, though. That's not bad. But I'm still in first place. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it here. Yeah, we're definitely going to call it here now that I got hit by double cost. Oh, shit. Look at all these emails. This ain't good. Sure, Wendy, you can stay for $29,000. Oh, God, Nikita, how much do you want, honey? 85. How about 59? Come on, please.
I would have loved it if it was 10 more.
Yeah. We've just brought a new physical trainer on staff. He's working with the top. Yay, physical trainer. I will do it. I don't care. Get 30 grand. That's fine.
Do it on Gunther. Try it on Gunther.
No, unfortunately, it's Bray Wyatt and JC Jane. Oh. I don't get to choose. They just give me 2. But
I know. That's what I was saying. Hopefully, they chose Gunther.
Oh, Lita wanted a match with Gigi. That is something she did want. She didn't get it, but she wanted it. Rhea's still mad. Working with SmackDown's been a complete joke. She didn't get her loyalty bonus. And now nothing else is going to cut it but that loyalty bonus. Not going to happen. Because I don't have the 100 grand to give you. So no. Yeah, mommy back down. She knows better. But that's going to be an end for the night.
I hope your mother is watching.
She's in the other room. I don't think she's watching. All right. Mr. Carl Carafel, why don't you tell the good people where they can find you?
You can find me on your television screen every Monday and Tuesday. Mondays, I do the Raw Watch Along, as well as Tuesdays doing Turnbuckle Talk. If you want to know where you can find me on the socials, streaming down below, you see my link tree, linktr.ee/Carl Carafel. That is linktr.ee/KARL KARUFEL.
And of course, you have your Redbubble store below as well.
Yes. We do have a store for Turnbuckle Studios, carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Included in there is stuff from Turnbuckle Studios, Turnbuckle Talk, Boar's Nest, the Monday Night Raw Watch Along, Beats and Beatdowns, Got the Pod Life, Paramindful. There is a lot of different merchandise that is over there for you.
And yes, hashtag Dr. Pepper sponsor, Carl.
That would be great.
I hear Beats and Beatdowns is making a return.
It is. Originally, we were going to be doing that tonight, but some different situations came up that we were not able to do a record for it tonight, which is perfectly okay. But I can tell you that Friday is going to be our track number 2 for Got the Pod Life. So be sure to look out for that. It's going to be very, very good.
There you go. I saw some of the names coming up for the episodes of in the back end. I saw the episodes. There's one NXT one that I'm very excited for.
Oh, you might pop over it?
I might pop for it.
Mm-hmm.
Parrish, where can the good people find you or reach out to you to send you well wishes this week?
Catch me outside. How about that? But no, you can find me anywhere. Just look at Chris Parrish on YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, all that. Christoph Parrish on the Instagram and on the threads. Chris Parrish on the X. Kick. I have one of those. I have the Twitch at the Chris Parrish. Yeah, but you can also follow me, find me this Sunday. Yeah. And if with Bustin' Out, I'll be coming back to Bustin' Out this Sunday. And I'll show you who's joining me.
And I can see you getting out and shaking your body. Welcome to the party with a nuts hang. It's just a rap thing.
Yes, Mr. Bobby Munson is unavailable this week, so stepping in to his co-hosting chair is the one and only Mr. Tom Colliehue to join Chris Parrish, making a return for this week for Busting Out. So that will be a fun episode.
And that's only if I don't have a kid. And yeah. That happens.
We've got some plans in place. You have some plans hopefully in place, so if no plans change, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Chris Parrish is on Baby Watch. It is an absolute thing.
It's probably going to be this week.
Sounds like it. Of course, you can find me on the X, on the Twitter, at EdFries12584. You can find me on the Twitch at EdFries2002. At some point, when I'm not so busy, I will be getting back to my gaming content on that channel, playing some Marvel Snap, playing Marvel Midnight Suns, as Midnight Suns and Snap have come together to join family today, starting today. And they have all kinds of brand new variants for their Marvel Snap cards going with the characters that are in Marvel Midnight Suns. So go ahead and check that out at some point. Like I said, you can catch me this Friday as I get joined by my friend and my tag team partner, Andre C., as we go ahead and talk about Loki Episode 1 of Season 2. Yes, Marvel Talk is back with the WGA strike over and the actors strike looking to be ending at some time in the near future. We're going to be back talking Marvel Talk. Loki Episode 1 drops tomorrow. So Friday night, you'll be able to catch it with me and Andre C. as we go ahead and talk about that. This weekend, make sure that you try to stick with us as we have all kinds of coverage of Fastlane, how we have all kinds of coverage with Busting Out. We will have coverage at some point here or there of all those wonderful shows. And I'll be back next Tuesday night for the extravaganza. Where, do I still have the thumbnail in here? I do not. Let me... I'm going to upload that thumbnail because it is so great. This is the thumbnail I used for the YouTube video that went live today, but these are the things that are going to be on NXT next week. We've got Asuka taking on Roxanne Perez. Asuka might be the women's champion by the time that match airs next Tuesday. Cody Rhodes is having a major announcement, and he'll be on NXT for the first time ever. And, of course, in what I think is going to be either the opening match or the main event, depending on how they want to play this chess match, Carmelo Hayes, doesn't get any weirder the more I say it, with John Cena, is taking on Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman at the behest of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So, yeah. NXT is going to be a big one this week. Oh, by the way, the women's breakout tournament continues as well. Yada, yada. Becky Lynch, I'm sure, will be there. Yada, yada. Like, those things don't even matter right now with the things that they dropped last night on the show. But, for myself, for the Chris Parrish, and for our guest, Carl Carafel, thank you all for joining us. Especially thank you two gentlemen for joining me. It is hard to do this show alone. I appreciate having good friends to join me as well. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.